gentlemen, wherever you are, welcome back to the Transfer Zone. With me today is Adam, but first and foremost, can you name the team that Arsenal played in 2010 to 2011 in the quarterfinals of the Champions League?
Ooh. Quarterfinals.
Yes.
Is there some relevance to this? Like
there is.
There is. Oh, crikey! I have looked back on these things. So I feel really on the spot. So I'm thinking of teams like Eintracht Frankfurt and Wolfsburg and teams like that. I know it's not Birmingham because that was a bit later on. Barcelona.
That we played them this season.
In the Champions League.
I know who it is.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. In the Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and it's not Wolfsburg.
No.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be Bayern Munich. So it's either going to be Zurich.
No, not this season. In October we'll play. Well, not in October. We'll play them in September.
Oh, as in the group stage.
During the qualifiers.
Oh, it's I can't pronounce the Swedish team.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. I'm sorry.
Can you guess the player that was in that squad that came on? That's still there.
Tim Little.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just an interesting fact before we finish on this part and introduce our other co-host.
There has been making a lot of noise in the background.
There's a lot of significance in this because Frida Leeuwenhardsen-Molenum will be facing her significant other, who actually does play for Linköping.
I have seen this. It's quite a nice, well, not nice. It's quite an interesting angle on it. And I think Jonas has some history. Obviously, he's coached over there and knows the club very well. There's a lot of underlying narratives that one game. So yeah, much to look forward to. Is it September, isn't it? We have the game.
Yes.
It's the 6th of September.
Yes.
And then we go again against whoever wins the other game on the 9th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just what was the scoreline in that game? Just out of interest, in that. It
was 1-1. So Ellen White scored and Linda Salstrom scored the equaliser for Linköping.
It was away goals, wasn't it? Was it away goals? 3-3, 2-2. Yes, I remember.
Salstrom and funny enough, everyone might know Asana Kosovora. Kosovora Asilani was the other scorer for Linköping, and Rachel Yankee and Katie Chapman scored for Arsenal. Arsenal went through in away goals.
That's rare because Arsenal never go through in away goals. If anyone who's followed their men's team will know, it never happens.
So let's bring on our other co-host, the fabulous Lottie, who's been making money, jumping up and down left, right,
because I actually knew the answer before Adam for once. I knew an answer before Adam. You know how happy that makes me? And that's why he's laughing at me, because normally I'm the one going, and he's going, I know this answer.
Yeah, I feel terrible. Okay, well, I will do the same antics when Matt asks your question then.
Well, actually, I already know what it is. So, let's go.
Very first in the Football League as a whole, Hannah Dingley has been the first ever coach to be coaching who is female. Can you name the team?
I thought you knew this one.
I did know this one. I had it last night. Shiitake mushrooms.
So, say the question again, Matt.
So, Hannah Dingley is the first ever female coach in the Football League, but can you name the team that she is currently going to be caretaker manager of?
Oh, this is the team. She's replaced Duncan Ferguson.
That's the hint.
Yeah.
There's a hint. It's kind of my shirt.
Oh, I know this name.
Oh, it's Northern Ireland, isn't it?
No, it's
in the Football League.
For goodness sake.
They've got green.
Oh no, I don't know.
Right, Forest Green Rovers.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that were wondering. So
now that I said that last night when we were doing content.
Okay.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
That's annoyed me. You should have done it the other way around.
Yeah.
No, I look like a black woman.
Now we know for next time. So, the fun of games. I hope we're all having a bit of fun. But some interesting news has come about in the World Cup. The referees are going to be mic'd up. They'll be able to tell TV audiences and crowds and explain their situations, especially when it comes to VAR. So less of that issue. I just want
to. Does that mean we get to hear the Katie McCabe arguments?
I don't think it's going to work exactly like that. I'm all for it.
The mic could pick her up. I'm all for that. I mean, I'm just interested. Wow. You just see her emotion, and I want to know what she's saying every time. Like you can only watch it so many times when you're trying to lip read it. It doesn't always work.
It can work, especially when Jill Scott stands up to the Germans. That you can lip read that very well.
You can that Euro final. You can read that very well, but when my main example is Kate McCabe. I don't see the arguments. I'm nosy like that.
I'm all for this. I watch Six Nations a lot, watch rugby a lot, and you are as a fan, as watching on TV, you are in the loop with what the referee is saying, and I always feel that when you hear the referee just describing it, it doesn't mean that you agree with the decision, but you can sort of understand it's not this sort of mysterious entity that is deciding things that you have no say over, which always feels a bit wrong. So the fact that you're being let in on the discussion, you're thinking, okay, I know why they come to decision. I'm not going to agree with it, but I can see where the fault lies, but how it's all come together. Because sometimes we've had VAR calls and gone, well, hang on a minute, it's a clear handball. How have they not seen it that way? And the talks that Howard Webb did with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, that Monday Night Football special where he went over and analysed the VAR calls and you heard the communication, I thought was really interesting. I don't think it's going to be the whole game is mic'd. I think the mic will come on after a decision has been made. So they'll say the VAR thing will go up and then the ref will say, offside, there was a person just offside, or there was a handball. And I think it's great. I know there are UEFA rules or FIFA rules about they can't communicate the entire, they can't broadcast ref mic on TV or something like that. They can't do that. There are things they can't communicate, or they can't broadcast the actual communication involving the ref. But this is a good sort of first step. So I'm intrigued to see how it plays out and what it adds to the match day dynamic. But they use a lot with the women's sort of tournaments. They trial a lot of technologies and ideas and systems. We'll see how well this one plays in the tournament.
For me personally, I get Adam's point, but I think that there's going to be a bigger backlash on the refereeing standards. I really do. Thing is, you look at some of these teams, and you wonder where they're going to get the VAR systems. City, not a problem. They can just transport it across the road. Man United, they need to get out of LSV and actually go back to Manchester. and then there's us up in the middle of nowhere. We'd have to move into the Emirates practically, which is the long-term goal. Chelsea will have to start using Stamford Bridge if this is going to be a long-term thing. And it also includes the clubs coming up from the Championship. They will need full access to the men's stadiums. I mean, do Bristol City even have a VAR system? I don't think so.
I think it's a long way from going VAR from international to club, because I think there must be a recognition that the women's football league across the continent are not in stadiums that are compatible with VAR. Champions League teams play in stadiums that are from the knockout round onwards. So I think there would be an element of it's for the international stage only for now.
I hope so. Honestly, I hope so. It's just that's my main concern. It's the teams coming up from the Championships. Not so necessarily Arsenal as a club, but it's the teams are coming up. That obviously they've got to be fully professional by the time they come up. Obviously, we've seen what's happened to Reading going down to part-time again because they've gone down. I'm a bit hesitant about it, put it that way, because the refereeing decisions across the board are a bit questionable as it is.
Well, yes.
I'm starting to wonder if it will reveal more incompetencies than it does good.
I think that's actually massive, because I've certainly, from my experience of watching women's football, there are questionable interpretations of the rules, shall we say. And in fact, a lot of people who have come over from the men's game to the women's game, and they're like, is it really like this all the time? Like when we're watching like the Champions League and stuff, and we're like, it's worse. And that is, the VAR does amplify that. I would say the advantage is if we're all forced to go into the men's stadiums, Chelsea have to play at Stamford Bridge. That should massively impact their title chances, considering what their record is like currently at Stamford Bridge. So, swings and roundabouts.
It is definitely swings and roundabouts, but they the ultimate goal that I know Arsenal's leading the way on this, but I think for all WSL teams to play in the men's stadiums alongside the men's. And it's something that does need to happen. I'd love every minute of it. As much as I love and treasure Boreham Wood, it's not big enough for us anymore.
It's weird, isn't it? I mean, I went there and used to be like 1,000, 2,000 fans of room to spare, and now I was watching the McCabe goal back again against Man City, and you look at the stands and they're overflowing. It's incredible, and you watch like that game back like 2-3 seasons ago. There wasn't even a stand there. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, I think personally, for me, well, I started going just before the Euros. It was October 22. I started going up to Bournemouth in the winter. It was cold. I had like one of the northwest corner to myself. There's about 6 of us standing in that corner alone, and we just had a clear view. Like there was just people dotted around, and it's weird because I get that now. If you're late, you're not getting a spot in that stand. It's not happening. But if you know where to stand, you can stand directly next to the pitch, and that is where you'll usually find me, in that northwest corner if I'm late. Which Matt did find out end of season, because I had dragged him down from the back of the stand to come stand with me. So yeah.
Let's just move on then. So back into World Cup action. Iman Beni, the 16-year-old of Basel, Swiss international, 16 years old. She has been ruled out of the tournament with an ACL.
Devastating. It's just awful. I think she'd only just made her debut, hasn't she? She'd only just got into the team, and you never know with these sort of players. I always think back to sort of parallels. I remember watching Wayne Rooney when he was 18 when he played in Euro 2004 Portugal. Had never heard of him, and thought, wow, this is amazing. This young, and I've always, from that moment, I've always been fascinated by the young unknowns who take the tournament by storm. And this we don't. Unfortunately, I don't know this player. I don't know how good she is or bad she is, but she could have been that player, in her position. And that's been taken from her. And worse yet, it's a whole year. That's a whole year of her career just gone. A whole year of her development at that young age, when you need games to improve yourself, gone. It's awful. I wish her the best in recovery, but the timing. We were talking Alexia Putellas last year levels of wretched timing. So yeah, gutted for her.
Again, it all goes back down to the football boots. I know Adidas and Nike and Puma, and I think there's someone else that's on board that's doing redesigning all the boots. They're getting there, but I just feel they've got the formula right and all that kind of stuff, but they're not getting this stuff out quick enough, especially with a massive tournament like this. Hopefully it will be reduced for everybody across all leagues next season, but we'll see.
And just before we get into the main event, it has been a year since the Euros started.
Oh my God.
Sending me their memories. I've been asking. So I thank a lot of the people that were on the Arsenal Women's Supporters group, as well as I've got a few people that have done. I did a poll recently as well on my Twitter. 24 people said that they really enjoyed the final. No one went for that opening game, which is a real shame. But just to give some people, so I want to thank Andreas, who will be on the show soon with a insight into Germany. His favourite memories were the final, the atmosphere from the whole country, the 8-0 thrashing of Norway, Georgia's winning goal against Spain. And it was just a memorable summer to remember. Got another one from H as well. The final, because she was there. I've got another one from Owen. Games at Brighton were the best. And I think I really want to get people's opinions about what it meant to them last summer for them to be at these games, and just sort of understand that. What were your favourite memories? Apart from us meeting up at our first game.
You've just stolen my one, because that was going to be my opening sort of one.
The drama. I'm going to butt in and go first because you're procrastinating about
Go for it.
I think, do you know what? I think my highlight, I've got several really good memories, but I think my first one was finally Vic Akers Wonderland meeting up, although we were under cannon chatter. We met up in Manchester for the first time, which was fun, and we all went to the first game together. Obviously we weren't sitting together, but we were dotted all over the place. But Yeah, no, that was one of the best ones, and I think the most annoying memory was I just missed Jonas after picking up my England shirt from Trudy's, which really irritated me.
You still haven't got over that. You still haven't.
No, I still haven't got over that.
Story, please. Story, just because.
Yeah, no, I was coming back from Trudy's head office up in Manchester because it's literally around the corner from Old Trafford, and you get the text from him, hurry up, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, okay. And I texted him back, why? Went, oh, Jonas Eidevall's there. I said, why didn't you just not lead with that in the first place? And that really, it's all very long-winded. So I've run from back down the main road, down up to Old Trafford, got there just as he walked off.
And
I'll let you tell that bit in a minute. But I think, obviously, going to that final with humour, that was fun, regardless of bits and pieces that did happen. Just being there was just absolutely epic, and also being square on for Beth Mead for the first goal of the tournament from Beth Mead. That's my goal.
You were square on. You were behind that goal for that one.
I was square on the side.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. I just got my English at Beth Mead, so it was a sign that she was going to go far, and she did. So yeah, they're the best bits for me, apart from the owner side of us, of course.
I should add some bit of weight to that one. So yeah, I was with Matt, and we saw Eunice, and he was doing a bit of TV interviewing. There's actually a picture of it I put up on my Twitter feed. If you've seen that,
it was BBC, wasn't it?
I probably BBC or wherever it was, Swedish TV or whoever it was he was punting for, but he was out there doing the talk outside the stadium, and I took a picture because I just couldn't bring myself to actually go, hi, I'm an Arsenal fan, because he's like a legend, and I'm just like a idiot.
You had an Arsenal shirt on though, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
I can't remember. Did I have an Arsenal shirt? I can't remember. Actually, watch the footage back, because there's also footage because you actually filmed us singing "Sweet Caroline" very badly in the fan zone. Thankfully, that footage has not resurfaced yet.
It's on Canon Chatter TV. If anybody wants to go and check out our Euro content, Canon Chatter TV. There is a playlist with just the Euro content.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all there. If you want to go and see some fan adventures from me, Matt, and Adam, definitely go and have a look. I'll see if I can find the original content and upload them.
My highlights, if we're going through highlights, would be seeing all the people, seeing people I'd seen online but had never met, but seeing them for the first time because they've come over. Meeting actual footballers, even if it was just in passing outside the stadium or bumping into them in a hotel lobby. Just moments like that. I thought, oh crikey, yes, you're Farrah Williams. Oh, that's Ian Wright. Oh, there's Alex Scott. Oh, you're Jane Ludlow.
Oh yeah, that's it. I remember I met Farrah Williams outside for the Brentford Stadium after the Spain and Germany game. Forgot about that. That was so cool. I was wearing my Arsenal shirt and she stopped. It was brilliant.
Rachel Brown finished. She was in the fan zone with us. Seeing you across the stadium at Brentford, that was very funny. When I was like, "Hang on a minute, I can see Lottie."
we were sitting there taking pictures of each other. I can see you.
We've just got lost.
The game kind of came to a standstill. We ended up just sending pictures across the stadium to each other.
And I've got this thoughtful picture of Lottie just looking at the stadium of program, just like that, just staring at the ground, just very like intellectually, just sort of like trying to do the tactics, and then just very. It was very, very funny. We were far away, but turns out we were closer than we thought. The big highlight for me, apart from the final, was the semi-final at Sheffield United and Bramall Lane against Sweden. Because you say you're in line for the Beth Mead goal. I was behind the goal in the second half.
The back heel.
I had the bronze header, the Kirby chip, and the Russo back heel. And I'll never forget watching the goal, moving my head and then suddenly having to whiplash it back because suddenly, how has that happened? And honestly, I tell you what, I mean, when I stood up and roared, it felt like my head was going to explode. The rush of sort of blood, the adrenaline that was sort of flowing, because we'd lost our last 3 semi-finals in all competitions, and now we're winning 3-0. We were going to go through. The emotional high I was riding on, I felt like I was going to collapse. It was just insane. And then Kirby, almost kills me when she chips Lingdale and makes it 4-0. I'm thinking, I can't. There can't be another goal. If there's another goal, I'm going out on a stretcher here. This is terrible.
But you know how I feel every Arsenal game, and I stress myself out.
But I think it was just, when you stand up really quickly, you get a bit dizzy. That can happen. It was like that, but I was just, because of the goals just kept flying in, and it was insane. And yeah, and also shout out the fan march with the Dutch. Amazing. We'll absolutely love that.
If anybody has seen that fan march, you see a guy in a blue shirt. That is Adam. Everybody else is wearing orange.
And I found it, and it made the BBC website a picture of me, and it's like, have you seen The Simpsons when Homer goes to work in a pink shirt? It's that episode. You can find a clip online. He walks in because his shirt's been dyed pink, and he walks in.
Don't tell me you're telling me The Simpsons predicted something else.
Yes, they predicted.
Just got the shirt colour wrong.
Exactly, and he gets sent to a mental asylum because of it. So maybe the prediction's a bit more on point than maybe I feared. But I missed that Euros. I missed driving up and down every day. I missed, the clear skies, visiting new cities, going to amazing stadiums: Bramall Lane, Old Trafford, Brighton twice. Not Brighton once, so I didn't go to that other game. Going to LSV, going to St Mary's. I mean, the Brighton game, 8-0 against Norway. I'll never forget that. The only game I didn't go to, England game, was the Spain game. Watched that from home, and the emotions of that game will stay with me forever. Watching Stanway hit the top corner in added time, I miss it. I mean, I look back now, I still miss it. I miss that, and I'll never have that back. And that's one of the great sadness of football. I'll never have that summer back.
Well, Adam, we go again in 12 days. We're going to do it all over again, but for the other side of the world.
Yeah, we will.
I'll just give mine quickly. So, one problem I did have was Sheffield United's Bramall Lane. I looked at it. You got basically, when you're walking up, you've got going past the petrol station and then round the corner. It looks like a load of houses, the way that stadium is built. And then you don't realise, that is the stadium. That was my biggest peeve, apart from Lace Sports Village. Everyone knows my thoughts. If you want to look at that, go back to the review of the Man United game.
I like Lace Sports Village because my hotel was right next to a stadium. It was my favourite one of the lot.
But my favourite moment is when I think I'll have to go to being involved with the Dutch fan zone, because it was just a totally different culture. And you know what? That really got people on side, and that's one thing you don't really see. But now we've only got about 8 minutes to talk about the main event. So finally signing for Arsenal.
Really? They kept that quiet.
I
think we'll start with Adam before he goes into.
Before Adam goes into full talk mode,
stop.
I would like to shout out myself, because I called this last week on this very pod. She was going to sign.
I would say go for Lottie first, because I'm going to go on a long one. So let Lottie go first.
He's not happy now.
Oh, sorry.
No, the thing is, he's going to cover everything. I said she was coming. We knew she was coming. I said it last week. I got told, she hasn't signed yet, by a certain Mr. Salter. But you know what? I had my suspicions. I have someone who I know who works at Arsenal. So it was all there. I knew something was going on, because this person was told not to work that day. So I knew something was going on, and it turned out I was bang on the money. So, and she did turn around and said to me, "Nothing gets past you." And I went, "No, not pretty much, no." But yeah, no, I'm glad she's here. Can't wait for her to get started. I think what's most exciting is the depth up top, and it's
scary. It's scary.
It's exciting.
I know.
After having a season where we're literally crawling on our knees from after when Viv went, that's when we started to go down. And it's just glad to have that much depth. And then you look at Viv being back and rotating with Freedom Arnhem, and then behind them you got Leah Volti and Kim Little, because Kimmy's probably going to be back as well. And it's just like, I'm so excited. But my only question mark now is over that back line, because obviously Amanda Ilderset has been brought back in to replace Leah. We still don't have a replacement for Rafael yet.
That is the one, and hopefully this isn't the end of our transfer window. Hopefully more signings are imminent. This is probably the signing of Russo. It's been the world's worst kept secret. We all I think everyone knew, like, it was inevitable. The fear was that something would go wrong and it would all fall apart. And so I always feel these signings. as much as we all know it's going to happen, I'll never treat it as done until the announcement video has gone up, which Arsenal did in typical terrific fashion. Brilliant announcement video. Absolutely loved it. Again, at the Emirates Stadium. It's a signing that's been going on the go since about I think it's 2020, the first sort of seeds of interest in Russo. Obviously, he went to Man United then, and then there was the high-profile punt in January, which left us with egg on our faces. But it's a signing I think everybody has wanted, everybody's looking forward to. I think it's a terrific signing. And so now I'm going to watch the World Cup through my fingers, watching, thinking, please, just everybody, as with everybody, just, Lottie, I'm not going to say it because Lottie will murder me. But the bigger thing, what's been talked about Arsenal to death about this, and Lottie, I think, will agree with me. It's a great signing, brilliant signing. It's going depth and everything, and a really talented forward. The big thing, I think, is Man United. Now, I'm happy to use this as a moment to laugh at Man United because we're Arsenal pod, and that's fair enough. And ha ha. But I think there's interesting politically how this affects Man United in terms of their sort of dynamic in the WSL, because that's not the only star player. They've lost Onyeka Bacha. She's gone to Barcelona. And they're sort of
another free.
Exactly. Another talent, best right back in the league, gone on a free. And it's this. I don't know. I find it fascinating what's happening there, because there's been this narrative that Man United are this upcoming force and they're going to take WSL. 100%. But
I mean, even the thing with Jackie Grogan. Yeah. She wasn't allowed to go and say bye to the team.
It's a weird one, and I think the problem they've got is there is nothing at Man United from a women's football perspective to attract players to come there. When you look at Arsenal and Chelsea, I say for gritted teeth, Chelsea have success, they have trophies. Arsenal have historical success, they've won a European Cup. They have legends like Kelly Smith in their ranks. Man United have nothing but the badge and recruiting fans who love Manchester United as a kid, which is great, but can only take you so far. And so I think unless they embrace the fact that they may not win anything, I think the problem with the club and the fans is they believe because they're Man United they can just take the league by storm and win stuff. And if they get quality players in, and they can simply just get quality players in because we're Manchester United. Their women's football and their men's team are not aligned. So it just because the men's team, let's face it, are a big team. The women's team aren't. The women's team are no bigger than, say, Spurs or Aston Villa in terms of their history, in terms of their position, in terms of they only done so well is because they got Casey Stoney in, who was able to attract some top talent in. But I think they might go backwards now after this. I really do.
Yeah, I mean the rumor about, is it Casey from Barcelona? That was shut down within half an hour. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think Matt, is there anything else to add?
I'm looking forward to Alessia signing. I think it's been a long time coming. If I'm honest, if I had to think of everyone's like Lincoln, Declan Rice, and Sol Campbell as that's the defining moment.
No, this is the Sol Campbell signing. I said this.
Yeah, my tweet. My tweet was the best free signing since Sol Campbell from the Swamp Dwellers.
That was and it was a year to the day. It was one day off the anniversary of that moment. Exactly.
That's the mental thing about it.
I did wonder. Imagine if nobody knew we were signing Russo, and then there was this rumor happening, and it was they're just bringing in Chloe Lacasse or something, and then
Jonas, Twitter would be on absolute meltdown.
Jonas walks in and Russo with him, and the whole floor goes mad. But obviously times have changed. You got Twitter and ITKs now. Nothing
and super snoops as well.
Yeah. There are no secrets, but it's such a coup for Arsenal. It really is, and I look forward to the next Arsenal game at the LSV. I look forward to the backlash from the Man United fans, because I don't think there's ever been a real personal sort of anger against maybe this sort of rivalry, like Robin van Persie reverse sort of tension between the teams of WSL, and I think this will probably be the first time there'll be a player who will be absolutely hated because they'll see her as a traitor. Imagine if Leah Williamson had gone to Chelsea.
She wouldn't, though.
No, she wouldn't. But imagine that's how Man United saw Russo, as one of their own, even though she'd only been there for 3 years.
Well, if I need a Katie McCabe announcement at this point. Put it that way.
Yeah.
After those other rumours.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's another thing, actually. Man United don't have an academy. They see likes of Toon and Russo as their own. They were signed from other clubs because they don't have players who have grown through Man United.
That's because the Glazers don't want to invest. I mean, they've already liquidated them once.
Yep, absolutely. So, this is annoying. We can't watch her play for Arsenal until September. We got 2 months to wait until she can wear the red and white for Arsenal, which is very, very,
That's
very,
fine.
very
We're
annoying.
going to watch her in the blue or white for England.
Oh yes, fingers crossed.
And that's the only time you'll ever hear me say those two colours out loud.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was thinking, oh crikey, that's a bold move.
Yeah, no. Well, because technically, England don't play in red and white at the moment. It's blue and white, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That is everything from Vic Akers Wonderland on the transfer zone. If you'd like to leave a comment, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you are on the Spotify or Apple playlists, don't forget just to leave some sort of feedback, and hopefully we will see you all soon. That's all from us. Goodbye.